Good morning, everyone. I am Antonella Del Pozzo, and I'm going to present you Tenderбake, a solution for dynamic repeated consensus for blockchain, which is a joint work between Sevalist and Nomadic Labs. So, given the venue, I'm going to skip the definition of a blockchain, just going directly to the context in which we consider the two kinds of blockchain that we have, the two kinds of blockchain solutions that we have, which is blockchains with eventual finality and blockchain with absolute finality. What is the difference between them? Is that in the case of eventual finality, we have that once we have a block in our canonical blockchain, this may change. While in the case of blockchains with absolute finality, we have that once a block is in our canonical blockchain, this block is never reverted. In particular, this is something that we can obtain when the solution is based on BFT consensus, which in a very informal way says that given an processes that are proposing a block, we have that all the correct processes decide for the same block among the proposed ones. So, in the case in which we are in an open system and we don't want to have forks, well, this is not easy because in an open system we have joining and leaving processes, and so we cannot count how many processes are in our system. We don't know how many there are and who they are, so we cannot directly run BFT consensus. A solution that we can use as the one used by Cosmos is to use the blockchain itself as a mean to select the members of the committee. We call them committees, or a subset of those processes that are in charge to run the BFT consensus for deciding the next block. So, for instance, given the current state of the blockchain in this scenario, we have that out of the blockchain we can select the in red the committee members for the next block. Then they decide for the next block, and they diffuse it, and so processes get to know if they are part of the next block of the committee for the next block or not. So this is a way to, despite being in an open system, be able to run BFT consensus for deciding for the next blocks. So in such a context, our work has been motivated by the Tezos blockchain that is moving from a solution that provides eventual finality to a solution that provides absolute finality. And in particular, they want dynamic committees in the sense that they want different committees for each block in the blockchain, potentially. In particular, the BFT consensus solution that they want to use as to guarantee bounded buffers and tolerate message loss. Indeed, what we have so far in the state of the art is a definition, is a formalization of the repeated consensus problem, and not the dynamic repeated consensus. And the BFT consensus algorithm that we have so far, such as Tendermint and OSTAF, they do not guarantee bounded buffers, and they requires reliable communications. So our contribution in this context has been to formalize the dynamic repeated consensus, provide a blockchain-based round synchronizer, Tenderбake, that is inspired by Tendermint, and is our BFT consensus solution that provides bounded buffers and tolerate message loss. And with respect to Tendermint, terminates in f+2 rounds. And moreover, we provides full Leibniz proofs. In this case, the items that are in bold are the one that we are going to discuss a little bit into details in this presentation. So this is the model that we are considering, as we are saying, since we are in an open system, has an infinite number of processes, which can be correct or Byzantines. Moreover, we are in an eventual synchronous system. In particular, we have that before GST, channels are asynchronous and unreliable. And then after GST, we have that channels are synchronous and reliable. Moreover, we have that processes have local clocks that are loosely synchronized after GST, and processes can communicate with a broadcast primitive that provides best effort guarantees after GST. Moreover, processes have also a pull chain primitives to retrieve the decided blocks before its invocation. That of course works well after GST as well. And then we have that all messages are signed. So we do not have the time to go into details of the dynamic repeated consensus formalization. The important point is that we assume that each process decides for a sequence of values, and each value is the output of a single instance consensus, and each consensus instance is executed by a committee of 3f+1 processes, where f is the maximum number of Byzantine failures. The properties of the dynamic repeated consensus are the same that we have for consensus and repeated consensus, in the sense that we have agreement, validity, and progress here, but is termination. And the dynamicity of the repeated consensus is captured by the validity properties that says that the values that we are deciding in our sequence of values have to be connecting one with each other, as in the blockchain, in which we have that a block is valid if the content of that block is valid with respect to the history of the already decided blocks. So this was the dynamic repeated consensus formalization. Let's go for the round synchronizer for our BFT consensus algorithm. So the important point here is that all the BFT consensus algorithm evolves in rounds, and usually what we have is that the consensus algorithm terminates when all the processes remain at the same round for sufficiently long period of time. So at the end, what we need is a mechanism to drive processes to be on the same round for sufficiently long period of time. And the way we want to drive those processes to stay on the same round is without exchanging messages, without using the exchanged messages, but leveraging only on the information that we have in the blockchain. So how do we do? So let's first hypothesize that we have two processes P and Q that they agree on the starting time T0. Then they can have a deterministic function that tells them how long has to last each rounds. So if we have something like that, we have that those processes have that their computation is aligned. The problem is we can have that because clocks are synchronized, but how can we be sure that processes agree on the same starting time, and moreover clocks are not synchronized before GST, but clocks are synchronized after GST. So if processes agree on the starting time and they apply this function, since clocks are synchronized, then we're good. So here the problem is how to be sure that processes are synchronized on the same starting time. So here we are running consensus in order to agree on a precise block. So for instance, for agreeing on block number 5, so we have that processes have the chain up to block number 4. Then we have that this block number 4 can be have been decided by some process at round, for instance, 3, and by some other processes around 4. And those processes are diffusing in the network the block that they decided for, along with the round at which they decided that block. So the idea is to take the smallest round at which a block has been decided as the T0 for our computation. And so what we have is that, for instance, process P and Q may not be aware at the same moment since the beginning about what is the smallest round at which block I was decided. So for instance, for process P is 3 and for process Q is 4. So they are at the beginning a little bit disaligned. But at a certain point, Q gets to know that the decision round for block E was also 3, that is smaller than 4, so it takes this as the starting point and adjusts is round. The rounds are the way rounds are synchronized such that it gets to be aligned with the P without any communication with the P, but just looking at the blockchain. So this is how the blockchain-based synchronizer works. So once we have that, we can move to Tendermint that was inspired to Tendermint, and give a quick look to how we get bounded buffers and we tolerate message loss. So Tendermint proceeds in rounds, and we have that each round proceeds in 3 phases in the same way as Tendermint. And indeed from Tendermint we borrow the same structure and the same locking mechanism, and we improve it a little bit because Tendermint terminates in f+2 round, while Tendermint terminates in n rounds. So what we have with Tendermint and also with Tendermint, so is that during the consensus instance processes exchange messages, and each message is labeled with the consensus instance, the round and the phase at which this message was sent. So how do we get bounded buffers? Well, it's easy. If process Q is around R, then it will accept only messages that counts that are labeled with round R or round R+1. If Q gets a message labeled with round R-1, it's just discarded. So in this way, we keep that the buffers are bounded, and moreover, thanks to the synchronizer, we have that after GST, all correct processes are at the same round, and so we have no messages are lost or discarded. How do we tolerate the fact that we can lose messages? Well, we just observe that usually if we have unbounded buffers and reliable communications, what do? Once we get a message, we check if for instance, in our memory, we have sufficiently many messages that satisfy some properties that were issued, for instance, are in a previous round. And in order to validate the message that we get to receive, and then we do something based on that. But then the problem is that maybe we need to store in our buffers an abundant number of messages in order to be ready to analyze future messages, and we cannot bound the number of messages that we need to store. And we can get to lose those messages, moreover, if we have lossy channels. So what do? When we send a message, we attach to this message all the messages that are needed at the receiver in order to consider this message that we get to send. So once P get this message, it does not need to check in his memory if it has some message, just does something with this message, if this message is valid. So it has been a little bit fast, this explanation, but at the end, what we saw, what we propose in our work has been a formalization for dynamic repeated consensus, and we propose a solution that is based on Tendermint, that is improved with bundled buffers, and that leverages a blockchain-based synchronizer. And at the current time, we have implemented this solution in a prototype, and we are running it in a Tendermint testnet. As future work, we want to explore what is the relationship between responsiveness and the fact that we want bundled buffers. We want to improve the complexity of our solution, and also move our study to considering rational agents to do an economic analysis. Thank you for our attention, and bye.